If you were to take those 2 weeks and look back on it, what is it? A fog? Is it like imprinted in your brain right now, and you
Yeah.
remember every single thing? What is it like now?
Well, the 2 weeks of the Olympic Games it's really hard to describe because it's surreal. Seems like a dream, but also seems really real. And since coming home, I've been home for 2 weeks now, and I've finally been able to kind of take a step back and just look on this entire journey. And you know, just even from Olympic trials to the Olympic Games, there's so much adversity that you had to go through, but I mean, that's what's exciting about the Olympic movement. It's what's exciting about athlete stories, and just through the 6 weeks of preparation towards the Olympics from Olympic trials, there was just a lot to endure, and God provided both in the triumphs and definitely in the struggles.
And there you are with a couple of very nice pieces of hardware
Yes.
hanging from that. What do you think when you look at those?
I mean, these, there's a lot of words that describe both of them, and I think the biggest and probably the most fulfilling one is I mean, this brings a lot of hope for, you know, USA diving. Diving's not a huge sport, so as much as you can, you try to capitalize on, you know, just promoting the sport because they've done so much for me, and so, you know, I just want to get back to that, and also, you know, just a big passion of inspiring a younger generation that, you know, dreaming, working hard, discipline, learning, you know, all these words to describe what has gone on this journey is, you know, that's something that I want to pass on, and, you know, if they can inspire just one child, then it just makes it all better.
Somebody inspired you. Who was it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much inspiration. Athletes, you know, depend on that support system because, I mean, you're throwing your body off, you're doing a lot of disciplines with it, and, you know, it's a lot of heartache, and so your support system is everything, and definitely would never become Olympic champion without that. And my faith is a huge support system of mine, my family, my parents, my fiance, and, you know, just coaches. John Wingfield, who was from Indianapolis, was kind of like my father figure coach growing up because I spent so much time at the pool, and, you know, now I'm at Purdue University, and Adam Soldati is my coach, and he's more of the mentor role. So, you know, it's kind of cool to have so much influence on my life, and, you know, just help to grow me up to who I am today.
Take me back to 2008, and then the difference between who you were as a diver
Yeah.
in 2008 and 2012. A lot of people said he was really uptight. Your parents even said that. He was an uptight guy
Ouch.
in 2008.
Ouch.
They did.
I mean, it's totally true too. I was 19, and, you know, 19-year-olds, they puff themselves up. They think they're the greatest thing in the world. But, you know, there's just so much immaturity going into the 2008 games. But, you know, at the same time, there's also a lot of hard work that was put in at the same time. But, you know, just the approach to 2008 games was just dramatically different than 2012. I was, you know, just wanting to be on the team in 2008 from a childhood dream. And, you know, when I got to the Olympics, I got caught up in the Olympic movement, the hoopla from the media, and just wanting these things so bad. And, you know, I held them on so tightly that at the end of it, I looked back and it was just, I mean, it didn't satisfy me. It was just temporary satisfaction. Everything that I was chasing after, just would it fulfill me in the long run? And so I came to Purdue and just grew up a little bit. I had a lot of support with time management and getting priorities straight in life, and, you know, my faith was the biggest influence that I've had at Purdue, and so just the approach to 2012 was dramatically different.
But you seemed like you were so cool, and that your whole approach was you got away from the actual venue.
Yeah.
And you decided that I don't want to be around this time. So what did you do?
I mean, just the approach to 2012 was not wanting these so bad. Obviously, there was a huge goal, but, you know, you have your outcome goal, and the outcome goal was this, and, you know, you have to push it aside and just look out how you're going to get there. And so, you know, how I was going to get there was just continue to do what I did in training to, you know, fulfill my purpose of loving God and loving others throughout the Olympic Games. And, you know, a big thing at the Olympic Games in 2012 was getting away from the Olympic movement. It's crazy. You want to be there so bad, you train your entire life to be there, but then when you get there, you want to step away from it because of what it can do. So just gaining perspective, training outside of London, spending time with my family, with my fiance, and just friends, and just being there to cover me with their love. That was crucial for this.
It sounds like obviously you took the pressure off yourself.
Exactly. You know, it's kind of the story of the individual event was definitely different. You know, here I was expected to be on the podium, and when I went to preliminaries, I barely qualified. I was 18th, last place to qualify, and so definitely humbling. But you know, it's a awesome story. It's like a miracle in 1980 Olympics. The hockey team with the Russians and the United States.
Because they were such underdogs.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
felt that you were.
Totally, because no one was expecting me to win at all. And so, you know, going into it, expectation was just to get on the podium. And, you know, that's hard. As much as you try to push it out of your mind of not, okay, I'm not going to focus on being on the podium, it's still there. The pressure's still there from, you know, your country riding on you. But, you know, that's where I woke up the next morning when I was 18th qualifying, and, you know, I just let it go. It was just like, this doesn't matter in hindsight. This is just one step towards, you know, the rest of my life. And so, you know, I opened my palms, stopped clenching it so tight, and, you know, the results spoke for themselves.
So take me to the event in which you, the 10-meter platform diving, in which you won your gold medal. A lot of people at that time, and especially a lot of sports journalists, said he looked like he didn't really care. Like he went up there and it was like, yeah, so be it. So take me through that. Was that the case?
It was. It was, you know, just like I said before, being 18th in preliminaries, it's a humbling, because I was expected to be at least in the top 5 after prelims. And so here I am in 18th sitting there, and, you know, just waking up the next morning knowing it was a new day. It's not like I didn't care, because I mean, so much work was put into it. So many people has invested in my life. And so, you know, I didn't approach it as if I didn't care. I approached it as if, you know, this was just one speck in eternity, knowing that whatever would happen, you know, God was totally sovereign over it. And so there's just a peace and contentment just competing throughout the entire semifinals and finals that day that, you know, it's hard to describe. You have a zone, and I just had the clear focus on what it was.
So when they say that you looked like you didn't care, it was just you weren't that same guy in 2008.
Yeah, I wasn't. It was not like I didn't care, but it was some maturity from the last quadrennium. 2008, I cared so much that I clenched it really tight. But in 2012, I was just enjoying that moment. I was enjoying my teammates, just sharing that moment with them, enjoying a crowd of 18,000 in London, and then enjoying, you know, just the support that I had across the United States.
And then, you know, the competition, the men that you were up against from England and also from China, I don't think that anyone would have said that you were going to take the gold medal at that time. Would you have agreed with that statement?
You know, diving is an interesting sport. You know, there's 8 guys in this particular event that I won the gold in that can win on any given day. It's highly competitive. Anyone could have won, but you know, expected China was supposed to win. They're the dominant force in it, and you know, not a lot of expectation for the gold other than China. But I mean, that's what the Olympics is all about. These stories, these underdog stories, this adversity they have to overcome, and you know, that's what makes it so special. That's what makes athletes who train for this so unique. And so, as much as you can share your story to, you know, inspire others, that's, you know, this is just a cool story that I can take to hopefully share with them.
Have you thought about Rio?
Absolutely. Rio is definitely on the sights. I'm taking 4 months off, going to get married in October, and then, you know, go full force into diving. And I've dribbled around a little bit with gymnastics, but who knows? We'll see what happens.
Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
That would be. It's never happened. That's why, you know, I stepped back and I was like, all right, what has someone not done before? Because, you know, obviously I dream big, and that's what, you know, I just have that drive instilled in me. And so, you know, if I can do that, then great. If I can't, it doesn't matter. But
you plan to start
I'm going to have fun with it.
You plan to start training in gymnastics?
I went to the gym last Friday for the first time in 10 years. And I still had some ability. It was just natural talent, God-given talent, but
Is this a
we'll
headline
see.
that we have here that you're thinking of? Could you actually do 2 sports?
You could if you.
Are you giving me a headline? Is this exclusive information?
No, it's not exclusive.
Okay, all right.
But
that's okay.
You can make it exclusive if you want.
That's yeah, exactly. Are we okay on your card here? Because I have one other question. I want to ask you this. You accomplished in London what hasn't been done by an American since Greg Louganis in 1988. How do you view that in a historical perspective with these games?
Yeah, the Olympic Games is definitely an historical event. You look back on just the Olympic Games, what has been accomplished in sport, and specifically in my sport. And you know, everyone knows that Greg Louganis is the legend of the United States diving, and so it's cool to be alongside with him in the record books. But you know, I don't want to be compared to Greg. I'm not Greg. Greg's his own self, and so you know, I'm David. He's Greg, and so if I can be along with him, that's amazing. That's historical, and it's definitely a moment to share. But you know, just moving forward, there's you know, mentors that have had a lot of influence on me.
What about just the reaction to you now that, I mean, people in the elite sports that you're in, because you're elite athletes, and suddenly you toil in relative obscurity in a, you know, in a pool and on a platform, and you dive, and once every 4 years somebody hears about you. So now, after this, how has your life changed?
My life's changed, you know, dramatically. You know, I've explained this before. It's just like a roller coaster. There's so many highs and so many lows, and you know, you just have to ride it as best as possible. And that's again where the support system comes in, and you know, the crucial aspect of sponsorships. You know, we're not government funded. The United States is all self-funded, and so sponsorships play a huge role in that. And you know, again, going in to speak to, you know, high schools, to donations, to charities, and you know, just share my story. This is where, you know, my job kind of comes in to inspire.
So will we be seeing you on a box of Wheaties?
Definitely not this Olympics. I think that went to Michael Phelps, but
yeah.
maybe in Rio.
Yeah. How about this? We won't be seeing you on The Bachelor on ABC because you're spoken for.
Yeah, I'm spoken
that
for.
Won't happen. Have you any weird stuff like that? Have you been approached with any strange things or any really interesting things?
I have not been approached by anything interesting, but I have an agency that I work with, and so they handle everything, and so they filter. So that's huge, crucial. But you know, you have fan mail, and fans play a huge role as well, because you know, that's where the support, the encouragement comes in, and so you know, if I can sign as much as I can for them, that's neat, because you don't see that very often.